Start talking?
Yeah, talk.
How's my hair?
It's good.
Is it like good, like Barbie hair? Like Instagram flexing on him Barbie hair?
Alright guys, I am 6 feet away from Nina. I'm holding this PVC pipe. I'm at least 6 feet away from her. Practicing social distancing. She just got done working out in the backyard. Last time you saw Nina, she was getting ready to leave for Las Vegas because of the whole Corona thing. She's come back from her internship a little bit early. And she's gonna say hi real quick. Say hi, Nina.
Hi guys. Having people at least in the gym with me and kind of just having people there to, you know, just keep you motivated. When it was raining, I was like, no. There's just like zero motivation to come and work out in the rain and cold.
Do you regret your decision to move away from CrossFit? Considering like if you were doing CrossFit right now, you have a lot more things I guess you could do.
Yeah.
Equipment wise, you know?
Yeah, for sure. No, I don't. I think that was, you know, something I did for a while, and it's kind of like, not like a been there, done that sort of thing, but it's more like just not something that motivates me, not something that I really want to do anymore. Definitely, I'll always use, you know, what I've learned from CrossFit to throw quick workouts together. Like literally yesterday, I did like a 15-minute EMOM in my backyard with random stuff that I had, and so I can still work out on the off days that I'm not lifting, but you know, taking the lifting aspect from CrossFit, I think that's what I always really enjoyed. I've never been a huge runner or a cardio bunny, so.
You're good at gymnastics, we saw earlier though, right?
Yeah, I did love.
I'm gonna insert that video right there.
The handstands.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was my favorite. Honestly, my favorite part of CrossFit was the gymnastics.
What keeps you motivated?
Well, what keeps me motivated is I'm going now to school full time. Going to Paul Mitchell, so.
Hit her up for haircuts.
I just did Zoe's first haircut today on an actual human being and not a doll head, and it went surprisingly well. Training wise, I am still doing 3 times a week right now with lifting, and then the other 3 days I'm doing some CrossFit stuff through Code 3. But yeah, no, it's I'm motivated to get skinny for my wedding in January, that I hope that still happens. But yeah, we'll see. We're just going to try and build, and maybe by the end of the year I can compete.
And what's that?
I'm working with Jay with my nutrition.
How's that going?
Last week was rough, but and this week, yeah. Jay, don't be upset when you see this. But yeah, no, it's going. It's gonna be a process to try and cut some weight, but here we are.
Saturday, April 18th. Just went 79, 102. I'm pretty happy with that. It's 79 for 2 singles. Missed 102 a couple times, but you know, whatever. It's not a big deal.
How did you feel?
I felt pretty good. You know, I felt like I could have hit 105 today. Could have been a little tighter on my 102 attempts that I missed, but you know, it is what it is.
Do you think you made the 102 because you were on Zoom?
I think Zoom over Google Hangouts definitely makes me a little bit more confident with my lifts. I feel like my coach can see me a little bit better, give me a little bit more feedback, sponsor me Zoom, no big deal. Yes, I think that 100% Zoom is a better application for interactive video conferencing.
Sometimes we see you working out at 8 o'clock at night because your work schedule is super crazy. How has it been different or better or worse during this quarantine with your work schedule and working out?
Honestly, my work has been really, they've been understanding about my situation because I have 3 kids. 2 of them are in school, 1 is a toddler,
She's a monster.
She is a psycho. Hard. Like it's really hard. Like I think it's even harder now to get into this garage, which is 10 feet away, at 5 o'clock than it was, before quarantine at 6 o'clock, because I don't feel like I'm getting
like 8
enough.
o'clock.
Yeah.
Like coming home from work. Like,
So what is motivating you to lift now?
I just feel like I'm hitting I'm really hitting my stride. I feel really good with my programming.
What's motivating you?
No, I really feel like I'm as strong as I've ever been right now, and
I agree.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that too.
Yeah, I
like,
think you're looking good.
like cute.
Yeah, like cute.
Cute. Like you looking
I
good.
think you'll look even cuter with Kristen's haircut too.
Let's cut my hair.
It's fine.
It's fine. It's fine,
Yeah.
guys.
Everything's fine.
Everything's fine.
Everything's
It's
fine.
fine. Everything's
We're gonna go back
fine.
to normal
Healthy. We're happy. You're
Healthy.
We're blessed. We have a roof over our
We
head.
have food in our bellies.
Yeah.
We got
There's
so
so,
much
many
money right now.
blessings to this that is not. The environment's a lot better.
Yep.
We've all saved some money.
Or
because
lost.
together as a family, which we would not be able to
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
We're cooking more, which we would not be able to do. Well, we haven't done. It's not like a regular thing.
yeah.
It's not a priority, but now we can make it a priority.
Look-
So you've been gone from like the Rytown page, both in post and in stories for a minute. Can you tell me why you're mad at me?
It's just driven from jealousy. You're just so cute.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I felt
feel
like
that.
you were
Okay.
shadowing,
Yeah. Okay.
like over my cuteness, and I just needed some mental space from that.
All right. That's fair. I guess.
So my last meet was November 2nd. It was the Southern Pacific LWC. So since then, I was taking some time to rehab a back injury, as you know, my slip disc in my back, and
Pregnancy.
because you can have a baby in 6 months.
Yeah,
so
baby. Yeah,
it's
5
gone
babies.
now.
Baby's gone.
So I was doing a little bit of traveling with my family, snowboarding, whatnot, and then I took some time for that. And then when I went to Vegas to see Nina, to visit Nina, we were working out and maybe dancing a little too hard, and I woke up with a hernia. I had like a really bad pain in my belly button, and my belly button was like sticking out.
Oh.
Yeah, so
Yeah, Audi.
yeah. So I went to the hospital when I got back from Vegas on Monday, thinking, no big deal. I went to urgent care, I think, and they were like, no, dude, this is an emergency. It's strangulated and incarcerated. You have to go to the ER. So I went to the ER, still thinking it was no big deal because it's just a hernia, and they operated that day. A couple days later, I was having a hard time breathing, and Hunter brought me back to the ER, and I had 8 pulmonary embolisms, and it stemmed from a DVT, which is basically all just fancy words for I had a blood clot in my leg that came up and became a bunch of blood clots in my lungs, and I have been recovering from that since.
Yeah, like.
Yeah. So for those people who aren't wanting to train or do any of that, do you really want to be that person that comes out of quarantine fat? Like, ew. So that's what motivates me, because I don't want to come out of this fat.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I would have to say for people who are not motivated right now. There's tons of things you can do at home for like videos.
Check out the Code 3.
The Code 3 one's perfect. I've been following that.
Show 'em your.
This one's an old school.
Did you used to go to Code 3? Or would you call yourself a Code 3 OG?
I would. I would consider that.
Would you say that? Like if I said Mark, hey Mark, do you know who Kristen is? He would say, yeah, I know who Kristen is.
Depends what kind of day they're having. Him and Dad, they might not claim me anymore. They're just like, this bitch has all our merchandise.
Like, if you're sitting at home doing nothing, you don't feel very productive. But everyone goes through this differently. It's kind of a traumatic. It is a traumatic time for a lot of people. It's a weird, crazy, just like I don't even know what to do kind of time. And like, if you're not as productive as you want to be, then that's okay. Don't put pressure on yourself. Like, don't feel and don't compare yourself to other people who are like, just do your best and that's gonna be good enough.
Awesome.
We're all experiencing this quarantine in our own unique ways, and there are moments of it that feel sad and we get anxiety because it's out of our control, and some people may be struggling with depression. But the thing that I'm trying to do for myself in this, and maybe some people can do the same, is control the aspects of this that I can, and control the parts of my life that I can. And this thing that we all take for granted so much is that you have this body that you can just move with, and it takes away, like, when I put my hands on a barbell, it's like nothing else in the world exists. And like the feeling of not being able to do that for 6 weeks was like hell. And the fact that I can do it now, I'm just doing it as much as I possibly can, whether it's, you know, whether you have a barbell or your only option is to go out and run, or if you have some other ailment or injury that you can't go out and run, like, move your body as much as you can, and that will take away all the things that, like, for that moment in time, it will take away all of the things that, like, feel out of your control, because you can control what you're doing, and the way that I'm doing that is by moving my body.
Really felt that. I felt that a lot.
Keep moving, keep lifting, keep your head up. Reach out to your friends as much as possible. Check on the people that you think are strong, because I can't tell you how many people probably assumed I was stronger than I am. And the way that it felt, even just when I wasn't quarantined, but I was not able to move, for people to tell me that they were there for me and to listen and to hear me out, it was like nothing else. And you owe it to yourself to reach out to the people around you. You owe it to the people around that you love to reach out to them too. So check in on your people and rekindle some friendships, and take this time to be a better person. And that's it.
That's good.
Thanks.
And follow Rytown and
Subscribe.
Subscribe.
Smash the like button. Do it.
Just
Do it.
smash it.
Smash
it.
Um,
Not a hero.
Yes.
Okay.
we didn't say that.
No one
No one
said
said you were a hero.
JG's the hero. Yeah.
JG's the hero.
JG.
Jesus the